Hey, everybody, it's Kathy Boyle, president of Chapin Hill Advisors. So, my firm is a consulting firm working largely with family owned businesses. And to do that, we like to bring in experts who we trust to help our families execute whatever suggestions we might have. So, we created a circle of influence so that we have trusted experts of a wide variety in our circle. Today, I'm introducing yet another valued member of our circle of influence, Susan Vogel. So Susan has her own consulting firm, and she helps people get unstuck. So Susan, what does being unstuck mean? Are you a glue specialist?
Essentially, yes, Kathy. Basically, I work with business owners, teams, or entire organizations that are not executing. And some of the symptoms of that might be avoiding, procrastinating, justifying behavior and inaction, and basically, again, just not getting things done. And so when someone knows what they should be doing, but they can't get it done, especially if that's been happening for a while, it takes a different kind of coaching to help people understand what's at the root of the issues.
Okay, so let's talk about this coaching. What's the process like? What's the methodology?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a unique methodology that I utilize, again, only if somebody's really stuck. So I do lots of different consulting, but my specialization is when people need to make some pretty dramatic changes. Now, sometimes that can be reactive due to a problem, right? Because they're stuck or avoiding or procrastinating. And sometimes it's to get ahead of an industry-wide change. But the bottom line is that if you need to change the way you're doing things day in and day out, we tend to resist that. So that's the unique approach, and it's brain-based. So I utilize knowledge about what we need to do to overcome our resistance to change as part of my coaching process.
And is this a test? Is it a bunch of questions that you ask?
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take? Do they
Okay.
do it ahead of time? Do you do it when you sit down with them?
Mm-hmm. So when I've identified that somebody is a good candidate, again, for this process, and it can be an individual, it can also be groups of people, right, that are acting kind of together as a team, I have a diagnostic. And the unique thing about this process is part of what you need to do is kind of tap into the subconscious things that are going on. You know, the unspoken, sometimes people have an idea of what's happening, or a team is not really speaking about what's actually going on. And so the diagnostic is both a series of interviews and goal setting, as well as an assessment. And this is all brain science based. And it's basically impossible to tank. So people really can't lie their way through the assessment. And it gives a lot of very detailed information about what's going on and what needs to change in order to meet the goals that the team or the organization or the business owner is trying to achieve. So it gets a lot of really detailed information. It's highly specific to the client. So it's not a one size fits all.
And how long might this process take? Anywhere
Mm-hmm.
from what to what?
Well, essentially, the change implementation part can actually happen within a matter of weeks, which is very different than a lot of other coaching and consulting approaches. Again, it's because we're using what we know about brain plasticity. So the upfront diagnostic piece, again, depending if it's an individual, that can be as few as 3 or 4 meetings. If it's a team, that might take a little bit longer. And then once we start implementing, depending upon the level of resistance, etc.